So I know that I see Dr. Noge here, I see Dr. Tako here, and I want to acknowledge them and thank you both for being here to support this. So as always, the first step is full of uncertainty, it is full of questions, it's full of anticipation. And for us, it is always an exciting time to spend with you and to help you understand what awaits you. If you're here already, it means that you know about Funnick Business School. You know that Funnick Business School is one of the 10 schools of Funnick Cameroon, that is Portable University of Cameroon. And you know that the business school focuses on executive education and training. But besides Funnick Business School, there are other schools that you must have known, like our School of Business and Finance, our School of Management, our trade school, even our summer school, our School of Engineering, School of Communication and Journalism, School of Legal Studies. You would have seen all those schools. But what has brought all of us here together this evening is the Funnick Business School. And it is my pleasure on behalf of Funnick Business School and the EMA's Business School in Russia to welcome you to this Executive MBA. And if there are DBA students, to Executive MBA and DBA students, every one of you who is joining this orientation this evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this. Madame Lucy already said a few things about me, but the most important one I want to highlight this evening is that just like you, some years ago in 2021, I think, or 2020, I also embarked on a journey like this, filled with uncertainty, not knowing what it held for me. The only thing I knew was that I wanted to do this. I wanted to study the Doctor of Business Administration. And I had made my findings and I discovered that the Russians are very good in strategy. My interest at the time was strategic management. And I kept asking myself, where can I get the best education at this level in terms of strategic management? And I scouted around and I found that Russia is very good when it comes to strategy. Of course, military strategy stands out for them, but from my findings, I discovered that they will be good in strategy generally. And I started digging up to find the best institution, not only in terms of strategy, but in terms of convenience for me and in terms of affordability. And that is how I found EMA's Business School. And today, you can see that I have from EMA's Business School the Doctor of Business Administration as well. So many of you would want to follow suit, and I'm happy that you're going to be doing that. Besides this, Madame Lucy already said a lot of things about me, and I think at this point we will go right into the business of the day. So what is it that I am going to be talking to you about at this point? I'm going to be talking to you about who we are in terms of Funnick Business School and EMA's Russia. And most especially, I'm going to focus on the partnership that is making this program of yours possible. I'm also going to be talking to you about your various programs, your MBA program. If you're here for the MBA, the Executive MBA, the Doctor of Business Administration, I will focus on talking to you about how you will study through this journey, the kind of support that you're going to receive, the entire learning journey until it culminates with thesis and defense. So who are we? We are talking about Phonic Business School. We are talking about EMAS Russia. Who are we? Let us start by looking at EMAS Russia first. The full appellation, the full name is Eurasian Management and Administration School. It is based in Russia. It is abbreviated EMAS, but the full name is Eurasian Management and Administration School. Based on the ranking from many platforms, many portals, EMAS is ranked among the top 7 online MBAs in Europe. It is ranked number 1 in Russia for executive MBA and DBA. Their programs are 100% online. They are practice-oriented programs, not theoretical, which is something that is supposed to be very important for Cameroonian students. Because if anyone has studied throughout in Cameroon, you would know that a lot of our education around here is very theoretical. And that is why many times some of us Cameroonians would say that we need the education system to be completely overhauled because it is a lot of theory and sometimes students are not prepared to translate what they learn into practical realities. But the programs taught by EMAS are practice-oriented programs, and the faculty that teach these programs are business practitioners. They do not have just university lecturers, and in our context we'll say that they do not have just academics, people who just went, studied, graduated, and all they do is lecture. They have practitioners because of their orientation of the program, which is practical. Um, of course, at the end of the program, EMAS issues official certificates and degrees depending on your level. And EMAS conducts all the teaching and the academic assessment. This is very important for us to underline. So it is true that we are here and we are the ones conducting this orientation, but the entire teaching is conducted by EMAS staff and the academic assessments are all done by EMAS staff. Okay, so what is the role of Phonic Business School in Cameroon here? First, Phonic Business School in Cameroon is that institution that has made it possible for you to discover Eurasian Management and Administration School because of the partnership that exists between the two institutions. The second thing is that as part of that partnership, Phonic Business School is the official recruitment partner for EMAS Business School in Cameroon. What this means is that students that are recruited from Cameroon to study with EMAS Russia will benefit from especially some tuition reductions and something else that you're going to see later, which is, of course, I should just talk about it, student support services. Why this is very important for us is because of what I mentioned earlier. Most of us who went through our local education system here find it very difficult to adapt to the Russian or even any foreign system of education because things are not done the same way. Besides the fact that our own education usually is mainly theoretical, even the approach to learning is very different. And so you need that support, that special support from people who understand both systems. And that's where Phonic Business School comes in. All the people from Phonic Business School who will be giving you the support are people who understand both systems, have studied in both systems, lead in both systems, so they can bring that together and offer you the kind of support that you need to go through the program. It's no secret that for the ordinary Cameroonian, this is going to be super challenging this program is going to be super challenging for the average Cameroonian, but Phonic Business School is here to make it easier for you to sail through. That is the role of Phonic Business School here, actually the second. And how Phonic Business School makes that possible is through what we call executive weekend sessions, which are held quarterly. Very soon we'll talk a lot more about this session so you get to understand them. And Phonic Business School also guides students on study methods and best practices. We know, and every of the coaches that you are going to meet, every single one of them has gone through this system. They have studied this system. They understand it. They have failed through it. They have succeeded through it, and they master it. So they are the best ones to be able to help you understand how best you can study and the methods that can make it easier and enjoyable for you while you study towards achieving your goals. Phonic Business School also supports the implementation of your projects, and I'll talk about this very soon. And one other very key thing that Phonic Business School does is to assign project supervisors, PC supervisors, to the people who need them. I should say, people who need the supervisors will be assigned supervisors. Um, like I said, the study approach is completely different, very different. And even the research is very different. So you need people who have gone through that system who can guide you. Of course, for those of you who are attending this orientation, who passed through Phonic Business School, you already understand that at the master's level, for example, MBA level, our research is very different from the research that you see in Cameroonian universities and other institutions. Very different. And it is the same thing that you are going to see at EMAS. And if you're doing the doctorate, it has even been taken a step further. So you need people who understand that system, people who have gone through that system to be able to guide you through it. And so supervisors, local supervisors are assigned to you. And at the final defense, you would also meet those same supervisors, of course, because they supervised your thesis. They will be there as members of the jury to help grade your final thesis. Now, if you're here for the MBA, for the Master of Business Administration, know that the Master of Business Administration at EMA's Business School is not designed for school leavers, for fresh graduates. It is designed for emerging business leaders, people who have the aspirations of leading. This is for them. It is not for graduates who are just thinking of studying, going to school for academics. It's not like that. The MBA is also has a comprehensive general management curriculum, means that it touches on every area of management, And the thesis, the kind of research that is done at this level, is applied business research. So your studies will culminate with applied business research thesis. What does this mean actually? If you go to any university in Cameroon, any university, what you would find is that you will be taught basic research. What basic research means is that they want you to find how one thing affects another thing so that you can make recommendations on how something can be fixed. For example, they will tell you to do research maybe about the impact of rainfall on crops, cash crops in Cameroon. So you will go find out how rainfall influences the growth of crops and all of that. Those are the things you would find out. That's what we call basic research. You want to find out the relationship, usually between two things. And at the end of that research, you will now make recommendations. You will now be saying that if you want your crops to grow very well, you should water the crops even if rain doesn't fall and things like that. That's basic research. So one would be saying that, okay, you already know that there is this relationship between these two phenomena. Now, in applied research, we go beyond that, far beyond that. We do not just want to find the relationship between two things. We want to see how you can solve real problems through research. That is what we call applied business research. So you will be solving real problems in your business organizations. That's what it is. So the MBA program is designed like this. So it focuses on real world business challenges and it is taught entirely online by EMA's faculty. So you're not going to be expecting me to come to class and lecture. You're not going to expect me to do that, or Dr. Tako or Dr. Noge who are here. You're going to study entirely online, taught by Russian faculty. The same for the executive MBA. It is for people who have at least 5 years working experience, people who are aspiring to lead at a more advanced strategic level. The research is practically the same. There is going to be a lot of peer-to-peer learning so that you can exchange with your mates who are here now and the others that you meet on the program to ensure that you can sail through effectively. And this program, because it's online, is very flexible and will fit in whatever schedule you have. So you can study anywhere while you're working, while you're resting, you can study and go through it. It is just fine. The Doctor of Business Administration is done after either the MBA or the Executive MBA, and this is actually designed for the highest professionals in business. Many people confuse the DBA for the PhD, but I'm sure that if you're here and you have decided to study the DBA, then you know that there is a difference between the Doctor of Business Administration and the PhD, which is Philosophy Doctor. So Philosophy Doctor, which is PhD, is academic, is totally academic, to find out relationships between phenomena like I explained before, and it is adapted to people who are looking at pursuing a career in academia, people who want to lecture in the university. And so if that is the aspiration of anybody wanting to pursue a career exclusively in academia, then the PhD is more adapted. But the DBA, which is the Doctor of Business Administration, is at the same level of that PhD. That is why when you graduate, you are called a doctor, because it is at the highest level in business. It is more for professionals who want to lead at the most strategic levels in business organizations, for professionals who aspire to become consultants, for professionals who are looking at building something that is theirs and lasting, not necessarily to end up as lecturers or faculty in the university. This is the difference that we have to keep in mind. And here, the research that we do in Cameroon, I should say in Cameroon, for this Doctor of Business Administration program is what we call action research, which means that it takes research a step beyond applied research. And now if you're studying the Doctor of Business Administration, you have to implement the solution that you designed as you study the program. So you implement, you fine-tune, you show proof of implementation and results. That is what action research is. And I should say it is in Cameroon. So if you are studying, if say you did not register through Phonic Business School and you had to register directly with EMAS and pay more fees and study directly without passing through Phonic Business School, you're going to do the normal research. Even at this level, you will not do the action research. Okay, so it is students in Cameroon who will do the action research this way that I am explaining it to you, as you're going to discover throughout your program. So you're going to be solving a real problem, and there's going to be intensive faculty supervision, and then the same thing you're going to defend also before a joint panel that is from Phoenix Business School and EMA's Business School. I like to underline the fact that your program is taught and certified by EMA's Business School in Russia. So if there are questions about whatever you want, we can transmit that, but we don't decide on anything else on your program because this program is not taught by us. It is not certified by us as Phoenix Business School. So while you're going to be graduating as students of Phoenix Business School, you are also going to be graduating as alumni of EMA's Business School, which gives you a double advantage. So you belong to two alumni bodies, which opens you up to professionals from many backgrounds. Now we want to look at what is key to you, how you're going to be studying. Most times when you tell Cameroonian students that they are going to be studying online, they will be wondering how exactly they are going to study. This is very important. It's important for you to understand how it's going to function. So beginning Monday, you get into your program and you begin studying. One of the first things that you have to understand about how you're going to be studying is that on Monday, when you receive your login details, so every detail will be given to you. You'll be told how to sign into your platform. Once you log into your platform, the first thing that you start doing is that you access your modules. The modules are the courses that you're going to be studying. So you'll be seeing modules. Know that those are your courses. Those are all the courses that you're going to be studying. So you would access the modules online. And how are the modules taught? The modules are a combination basically of presentations, live, that is recorded lectures, and transcripts, which means that everything that the lecturer is saying in class, you can download the transcript word for word so that you can read it later when you cannot watch a video to remember. So you can download, you can print, you can keep it, right? It's exactly word for word what the lecturers lecture. So when you open your platform, you will download your whatever material, PDF material you have to download for the course. Then you will sit down and you will watch your lectures. The lectures are very interesting, very interactive. So you can pause, go back, watch again as many times as you want. And like I said, you can also read the transcripts to remind yourselves of that. So at any time of the day, you can follow your lectures. Like I said, you can be driving to work and you're following your lectures. You can be doing your leisure stuff, you're following your lectures. You can be traveling and you're following your lectures. The second thing you do is once you have watched those video lectures, which are taught by Russian faculty at your own pace, and you're done, you will now have to take the quiz. Here I deliberately put 90% because I don't want us to aim for lower. If you see above, I put the real thing, it is 60. But here I'm telling you to aim for at least 90% so that you can know that at the end of the day, you can have a good final score. So don't be mediocre in your quiz. Know that you can aim for it and get a very good score. So once you have finished watching your lectures, you can take the quiz for that module, and it is only after you have taken the quiz for that module now that you can move to the next module. It is that important. So you take the video lectures, download all your documents first, take your video lectures to the end. If you don't go right to the end, the quiz you cannot even take the quiz. You have to complete before you can take the quiz. And until you take the quiz and submit, and you validate that before the next module can be open, right? It's very important. There are no shortcuts. You have to go right to the end. Now, once that is done, you know that you have done it to an extent, you have gone. But there's something else that you will have to do. You will now have to take an implementation project. So what is unique about this program is that for almost every module, there is an implementation project, which means that there is a practical mini project that you have to complete at the end of every module, almost every module, I should say. Those are very practical. That's where what you have learned comes to life. That is where you implement. So please, no fictitious mini projects. Look at your company. If you're trying to build a company, this is the best place to start. You start looking at how do I want to build it, and you start implementing everything that you have learned in class, and you build those mini projects one after the other. And everything you're going to be learning from the mini project as you implement it, they will be building you up towards your final thesis. You will use all that knowledge. Sometimes you even use the data, right? Sometimes you use all those models in your final project. So it's very important you don't skip. But the good news is that Phonic Business School is here to guide. We will guide you through all your implementation projects to make sure that you go through them and your grades are good. Once you're done with those as well, you would upload on the platform. You don't send to us. You upload on the platform, and the faculty would correct, and then if you're okay, they'll validate. One of the things I have to mention is that you will receive very detailed feedback every time you submit an intermediate project. So the faculty member who taught the course will evaluate your intermediate project, tell you exactly what you had wrong, what you had right, so that you can improve. Very detailed. You have no problems with that. And once you're done, then you can move to the next. One of the things that you can also do if you're busy is that once you have submitted your quiz, you can move to the next module while you're working on your implementation project. So don't wait until you finally submit your implementation project before you move to the next module. You can do the two side by side, but it is very important that you do not accumulate implementation projects. So that of course you can move faster with your program and get to complete it within record time. This is really the heart of everything that you will do. Everything is on your platform. The platform is very easy to navigate. You easily find your library where you can download all the books that you need. And one interesting thing about your learning management system is that you can also see the progress that you're making in terms of knowledge, what you have come to understand, in terms of competencies and skills through your implementation project. So when you submit an implementation project and it is evaluated, then you know the level of competency and skill that you have acquired in that particular course. It's very exciting, so that you can evaluate yourself and make progress as you move forward. So the core of this is that you can study anywhere at any time. So you are not constrained. You do not need to worry that you're traveling or something and you'll not be able to study. So what I have told you all is what you will find on your learning environment. You will find your lectures, you will find your slides, which are very interactive. You can download them. You'll find your quizzes. Also, you will see your progress dashboard. You know how many courses you have done, what you have scored, what is left, and all of that. And let me not forget to mention that you have two chances to retake a quiz that you failed. What we'll advise you every time to do is get in contact with someone from Phonic Business School to help guide you on how to take your quiz when you fail it, the first time. You'll be provided with that guidance so that you don't fail again. Because every time a student fails a particular course, means you have studied the course and you fail the quiz, true, you can retake it, but you will have to pay 50 euros to resit a course that you failed. That's quite some money for us who are in Africa, who are in Cameroon. So Phonic Business School is also there to ensure that you don't spend that money. So you will have people who coach you on how to better take the quiz, on what to pay attention to. If it's your implementation project, how to go about it. There are some projects that you have to do as an individual. There are others that you can do with a group of people. So many times it is better to do it as a group so that you can share ideas, you can share the work, and it becomes easier. So those are the things that you would find on your learning management system. And the feedback that I talked about a while ago, you find on your learning management system. You would find in the library, you find case studies from research journals, and you can access this at any time. And you can even download those books into your personal library. You're not restricted, you must not read online. So you get into the library, you can download all the papers, the journals, you can download the books to use to read even when you're not studying, even after you've completed the program. Those are very important details. And don't forget that when you're doing your implementation projects, you would be gathering real data because you're going to be solving real problems. So it's not going to be armchair, like they say. So you're not doing armchair assignments that when they say you have to do an assignment, you just sit down, go on Google, copy some things and paste. No, it is going to be real data. Like I said, if you're already running a business, then it helps you because it helps you to build that business better. You gather data about your customers, gather data about your staff, even about yourself as a leader to complete those projects. If you're still thinking of setting things up, you will start gathering data from the market, putting your plans together to help you to build something which is real. So you cannot come and leave the program the same way. There must be impact. I'm sure some of you, if you are following us on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, you'll see how many times we have shared feedback about the impact that companies are having because their leaders have gone through the program. So you make sure you are gathering real data, right? You're applying what you have learned to your implementation project. They are not divorced, they are very married. So you must make sure that you're using everything you learned in class, applying to your implementation projects, and these are written, they are submitted, and they have to be validated by your faculty before you can move to the next module. So I was talking about the executive weekends, and I said we'll talk about it some more. Um, the executive weekends were designed to help you to go through your program. Like I said a while ago, it is very different. This is not the way we are used to studying if we're around here. So you need this kind of support. And these weekends come up every quarter or so, sometimes maybe after every 2 months. And what we do is that we have very intensive in-person sessions. So you will not stay at home and you come and attend the leave. You will stay with us for the weekend and we'll have very intensive in-person sessions where experts will guide you. You get involved in peer learning so that you can achieve the level of excellence that you want. So we will provide coaching on methodology. We will help you to see how to gather data for your research. You would study with other peers. Maybe you want to work on a group project, you will meet them there, you work under the supervision of a coach who will coach you. There, you will make sure that you have to submit your intermediate projects because you have to be supervised and guided to do that. And for people who have gotten to the level where they are writing their thesis, they will also be guided in writing their thesis. So it's usually a very intensive full Saturday and part of Sunday, so that people can really achieve their objectives. Many of the past students have said that without this weekend, they will never have been able to go through the program. So it's very important that as you begin, you make provisions to attend. Even if you're not around Cameroon, make provisions to attend even online, because all the guidance, all the coaching will be done through that weekend. Even when you're writing thesis, supervisors will only come meet students during the executive weekends to provide supervision for their thesis. So it is face to face, it is held around, it can be anywhere. For now, we've been holding most often in Douala, but in future it may hold anywhere. We can go to Yaoundé, we can go to Dubai, we can go to the US, we can go anywhere we want to go with this, as long as people who are studying the program can support the responsibility. So we have said so many things to you about the program. I'm sure that your minds are already wondering a lot. That there's so much information you have to take in one day. Don't worry. After your enrollment now, the next thing is that you're going right into the third module. You start studying as per Monday. Every quarter you will have the support that we've talked about. This doesn't mean that if you need support, you cannot reach out to someone at Unique Business School to ask for it. We are here for that, and we'll provide the support. And at the end of your coursework, you will go through the thesis, the research, and the thesis defense. So all the things that we have said to you are the things that you're going to be seeing. But you must remember that Unique Business School is going to be active throughout your studies. We are going to be here. And for your final thesis, we have said if you are an MBA or executive MBA student, you do applied business research. We will not leave you on your own. We'll be there throughout to guide you on what to do. Because, like I said again, this is a new method of research for many of us. If you're a Doctor of Business Administration student, you're going to be doing action research. So we are going to be there throughout to guide you. But what you must remember is that your research does not start when you're going to start writing your thesis. Your research starts from Monday. As soon as you start studying, you begin to think of the problem in your company that you want to solve. You begin to think of the opportunity in the market that you want to seize. You begin to think exactly of what kind of research you want to do. It is not when you have completed the program that you will begin to think. No, you have to start thinking from the day you begin to study. And the most important achievement you can have on this program is to defend a thesis and to have that validated. Because you can complete coursework completely to 100%, but without this aspect, then you have not completed. So if you are studying the DBA, for example, and you have studied all the courses, and you have passed all the quizzes with good grades, and you have submitted all your implementation projects, but you have not defended your thesis, you are not done with this program. You are not done with the program. So this is what defines actually the completion. And this because this is where students put everything together. Students bring everything together now that they have learned throughout the entire period. Now at this moment of research, your thesis and defense. So we are going to be there throughout to guide you with that as well. So by now you should be thinking that the program is really unique. It's not like anything that you know. And there are a lot of things that make the program unique. For example, you're going to be learning from Russian faculty who master their crafts. If they are in change management, they are experts in change management. If they are going to be teaching you human resources management, they are experts in that. So you're going to be learning from the best, and not people with our kind of background who are lukewarm about things, the people who have the best global strategy. And so they have been trained to be very strategic in every action, every decision, and all of that. Okay. The second thing is that you're going to be doing real work to create real impact. It is not going to be some theory. The third thing is that it is a very rigorous program. We cannot pretend about it. It's a very rigorous program. You will be studying through a world class digital library. Very important. Like I said, there are so many things that you're going to discover just by being on that platform. You have our local expert support, and you will have um, your credentials, which are very credible internationally, because most everybody around the world knows how very strong Russians are when it comes to strategy. So my hope is that, like the students you see on this photo, at very soon you too will also be embarking on this journey to Moscow, so that you can finally receive your certificate from the hands of the rector of EMA's business school. But you, before you get to that point, you have responsibilities as students. We have provided you with the information, that we have told you about the support that we are going to be giving you. We have told you about the support that we are going to be giving you, but you too have your responsibilities as students. So you have academic responsibilities. You are the one to log in regularly and you keep up with your schedule. As you would sign in, you're going to see that you have a calendar, your academic calendar, where they'll be advising you when best you are supposed to take this exam or that or that. It is your responsibility to log in every day and make sure that you're following up with that schedule. It is still your responsibility to make sure that you have good grades. We have said that we will support, but the responsibility doesn't rest on our shoulders. It is your responsibility to submit your implementation projects on time, not our responsibility. That is your responsibility. And it is your responsibility to engage with faculty, or if you have any needs, it is your responsibility, not the other way around. So we will not come to you, you will come to us when you need support. You also have professional responsibilities to use your workplace as a living laboratory, because we are saying that everything you do is going to be practical. It is your responsibility to find out how you can use your workplace as a laboratory to gather real data and in an ethical fashion, which means that we are not encouraging you here to use illegal, unethical means to gather data. It is your responsibility to make sure that you have the right clearance. That's what this means. To maintain confidentiality in all the projects that you're doing, and to apply what you're learning to create value either for your business, for your organization, for your workplace, whatever. It is your responsibility. And it is also your responsibility to attend all the executive weekends that we are going to be organizing. It is your responsibility, not ours. So whatever it takes to attend those sessions, it is your responsibility as a student. And to actively participate in peer groups. So if you have groups where you're working on specific projects, you have the responsibility of being active in those groups, to communicate promptly with your support team if you need any form of support, and to commit to the full program until you graduate. It is your responsibility and not ours. So you have responsibilities to get things done at the end of the day, while Phonic Business School will be here to support you. You have your academic responsibilities, you have your professional responsibilities, and you have the engagement, because your commitment plus our support is what is going to lead to your success, nothing else. We are here to help you every step of the way, but you have to put in your best to get it done. So, we've gotten to the point where the next thing to do is for you to begin to study. Right now, you will receive your details, your login details. You will receive them. You will log in. You will begin to study. You will get things done the way you're supposed to do them. You will connect with the faculty and you will start this journey that I know is going to be very, very exciting for you. We are here to support you and we hope that you will make the best of this as you begin this journey. We're here for you. So congratulations on being here. I once again want to welcome you to this very exciting journey that you're beginning to undertake. You're now part of an elite community of business professionals who are committed to not just learning, but to excellence, to growth, to making a real um, difference, not only in your companies, but in the world, because we cannot achieve much by just um, limiting ourselves to our companies. We have to make sure that everything around us is better. So I welcome you once again on behalf of the entire team. Let's begin this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe Omi. The time has come for you to ask your questions. If you have any questions about your studies, now is the time to ask. So if you have a question, you can raise your hands and I'll call you. Okay. Um, that can you kindly talk to us about durations and exchange studies if there are any?
Should I answer that or you want to go through first?
No, Dr. Fotabe, you can answer that.
Well, your program duration is for the MBA and executive MBA is 12 months. Of course, you can extend, but not beyond 2 years. The duration for the DBA is 24 months. Of course, you can extend, but you cannot exceed 36 months. And exchange programs, yes, of course you have. You could see from some of the photos that some other students have been to Russia. The exchange programs are open, but what I must underline is that the cost is borne by the student.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe. And just to add that the extension has a cost to it. It's like if you're going to school, you are supposed to do one academia or two academia, you're extending your academia. Of course, there is a cost attached to that. Um, I see a hand up. Please, you can unmute your microphone and ask the question.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Lucy. I am Mboetung Witik, a student, prospective student for MBA. So there was somewhere along the line in Dr. Fotabe means orientation that I did not get due to network breakage. I think it was on the exchange program or something like the executive weekends. She spoke about maybe Russia, Dubai, and someplace. I didn't get the full explanation concerning that. I don't know if she recalls that.
Okay.
Something about going out of the country or some exchange program or executive weekend. I cannot really remember because I didn't hear clearly due to the network. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So we have what we call the executive weekends, which is how we support students. Since I mentioned from the outset that this program is not taught by Phoenix Business School faculty, the only thing Phoenix Business School faculty does is to provide this support to the students. And this support, because students are busy professionals, can only be provided during weekends. And these weekends come up every quarter. And I said that sometimes we can even have them after every 2 months, depending on what students want to achieve at that particular period. So I said these executive weekends have so far been organized in Douala, but these executive weekends can be organized anywhere else as long as students can bear the cost of that. We can organize it anywhere else. So it means we can organize it in Yaoundé, we can organize in the UK, we can organize in Dubai, we can organize anywhere else. The students just need to always remember that they will bear the cost, and we are ready to move to get it done wherever the students are and wherever they are comfortable. I guess that's what you were asking. And then about the exchange visits to meet other students in other countries. Yes, that's part of what we do. And again, the cost is supposed to be borne by the students. I hope that that answers your questions. Your question.
Are you okay with the answer? I think he has some network issues. We have another hands up. Please, you can ask your question, Madam Ruth Zera.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. I came in pretty much late. I was informed about the meeting a little bit late, and my program was quite charged. So maybe the question I'm asking now, you might have explained along the line. I don't know, but I missed out on that. But it's something I've wanted to ask because I've followed up. On paperwork, a lot of this. I've wanted to do these programs for so long, but I've always had a concern with picking a specialty, and I feel like it's a counseling thing. I wear many hats, but also I want to understand the possibility of specializing and how much it can impact. So I know when you pick an MBA with respect to the things I do or the things I'm trying to narrow my abilities to, MBA keeps you on a general scale, or let's say MBA in general management in this or that. Because when I looked at your scale, I feel like there are different options you can pick to specialize with respect to the MBA. And I don't know if it's the same for the DBA. So I have two major questions. I have a problem fitting in exactly what I do now and exactly what to do with respect to a specialty. If I should specialize on something or I should just generally have my MBA. And then I also want to know if the duration for the DBA is standard. Must it be 2 years? Can it be crashed down to a shorter period of time? Is that a possibility? Because I'm aware that some universities do, you know, bring programs, they shrink the programs. Like you're literally doing all the program, the complete syllables, but you're doing it for a shorter period of time, even though the fee remains the same. So is that something that's possible with DBA? And for MBA, just to put into context, I do more of now. Of course, my background is communication, corporate communication, but recently I've been doing a lot of company restructuring, rebranding, um, and re-strategizing. For companies, already existing companies, maybe between 0 to 3 years. And I find it more interesting, than the regular just communicating. I find the art of building something or restructuring, giving a lot of structure and form to these companies. I find it more interesting. I feel like something I want to hold on to and grow with that. So as you who is a scholar, what will you advise with respect to specialty? Should I pick a specialty? Should I do it generally? I really need this advice before I jump into registering. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ruth. You've asked a number of very pertinent questions, and I'll start from the easiest to respond to. For the MBA, the duration given by EMAS is 12 months. So you can complete your coursework before 12 months, for example, but they will only be able to schedule your defense for your thesis after 12 months. This is just to say that you will have to go through 12 months, and the same for the DBA. It's 24 months. So even if you can complete, which I doubt, which I doubt, that you can complete before 2 years, you may still have to wait a couple of months to be scheduled for defense, because according to the Russian system, they know, and this is something that all students must understand, that everything in Russia is regulated by the state, and the state regulates how long a student is supposed to study a program. So even if we have to complete, there is no way EMAS Business School can even issue a document to show that you have completed when you have not done 12 months from, if it is for MBA, from the date you sign the contract, or 24 months for DBA from the day you sign the contract. So I hope that that answers that particular question. The other question now about specialization is quite a tricky thing, because in our context, people are always focused a lot on, the title of the courses, thinking of specializing and all of that. But I need to tell you that once you begin your program, you are getting to a strategic level. Whether you're studying the MBA or the DBA, the level you are getting to is strategic. What does strategic mean? You would understand that in organizations there are three levels of management. So at the very base, there is operational management. So there you will have maybe team heads, team leaders, and so on. You have those people at the base who lead every day, where they can come and discuss that, okay, today this is what our team is going to work on. So those are operational managers. That's the basic level of management and leadership. Then above that, that's the middle level of management. You have what they call tactical management or middle management. Those are the people who focus on um, specialized areas, like in human resource management. You specialize in finance, you specialize in HR and things like that. There it is very important that you understand these functions. But now when you start going up to the third level, which is the highest level, that's what they call the strategic level of management or leadership. You must understand exactly how everything functions in an organization. So you cannot be limited by any kind of specialization. So if you get to that level where you're now redesigning strategy, you're thinking of strategy, you have to re-strategize. Don't forget that strategy is not limited to one thing. You can re-strategize in terms of branding. You can re-strategize or strategize in terms of communication. You can strategize in terms of product development. You can strategize in terms of market entry and market exits and things like that. You have to understand everything that happens in an organization, from finance to accounting to communication to human resource management, to everything. You're supposed to have a good understanding. And to have that kind of good understanding is to specialize in something like strategic management. So while you can strategize in any other area I'm sure you have seen already, the best thing I can advise for someone like you who is moving from communication to wanting to be at a broader level, to have greater impact on companies generally, I would say strategic management is the best bet for you. You're going to still learn a lot of the communication that you've learned already. You're going to learn branding, you're going to learn, but you will now be learning them at a more strategic level, meaning that you would be seeing organizations now from the top. You will see everything that happens in an organization. You have a deeper understanding than just limiting yourself to one specialization. So my advice for someone like you is to specialize in strategic management. Actually, that's what I specialized in as well. And even Dr. Tako, who is here, who has a finance background, his MBA was in finance, he decided to specialize in strategic management because as you grow in leadership, you want to have that bird's eye view of the entire organization. So that's what I can advise you. I hope that I've answered all your questions.
Thank you very, very much. You've cleared a lot of my doubts. You've really answered as much as I would have loved you to answer. Thank you very much. Just to ask again, the specialization comes at the level of the DBA, or you can specialize at once from I can pick up the strategic management at once from the MBA, or it's at the level of the DBA.
No, you can pick up from MBA and this is an exciting thing that I also forgot to mention. From the MBA, you can already specialize in strategic management, and then when you go to the DBA, you may want to specialize in something else. You may think that, oh, there's just
Okay.
this small thing that I want to know again, right? And you can do it just like you can have two different MBAs. You specialize this time in strategic management. Next time you say, I want to specialize in finance, maybe for the sake of it, to be able to say, I have an MBA in finance, right? Because you understand how the market functions. People have different MBAs. So you can specialize from the MBA level. And when you even get to the DBA level, you can specialize in something else.
Okay, apart from the April intake, is when next is the how often is the intake for
For
The
the
next
DBA,
then?
June,
Okay.
June 2026 is the next session. Okay, thank you very much, Madam Ruth.
Thank you so
Do we
much.
have any other question? If we do not have any other question,
I
we
think
have to.
I see a hand raised. I see a hand raised in the chat, but I see a
Okay,
Bonge Stephen's hand raised.
okay, Mr. Ibonge, please, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to explain and share. I just heard what my professor said concerning the executive MBA and the MBA. Presently carrying on the MBA program, and then what I heard is that executive MBA is mostly for those having a certain experience, I mean, work experience. So I wanted to know if there's an opportunity to shift from the MBA to an executive MBA, if possible, or what make the difference, and then also if it's possible to shift from the MBA to the executive MBA as well. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, there is nothing that restricts anyone from moving. Moving when you're in academics, you can always move. If you feel that the MBA is better than the executive MBA, or the executive MBA is better than the MBA, it is your prerogative to see if you want to move. But I want to talk to you about the difference in the two between the two. What makes for the difference? Sometimes people hear them and they get maybe carried away by the appellations. But when I spoke a while ago, I talked about the entry qualifications for the MBA with 2 years of working experience. You can enroll. For the executive MBA, you need at least 5 years of working experience to enroll. And this is because for every program, people need a certain level of maturity, not maturity in age, but maturity in understanding how organizations function to be able to effectively go through the program. So imagine someone who just started working 2 years ago, maybe they are still at the entry level. There are many things they cannot understand. And even the kind of projects, final thesis that they write at the end of the day would reflect that limitation in experience. But somebody with a 5-year experience in an organization will probably have gone through at least one layer of management now to the next level of management, would have understood deeply how that particular company or that sector functions, and will be able to even conduct research that reflects that. So you see that the differences in terms of the entry qualification really makes a lot of sense. But in the general sense, what is the difference between the EMBA and the MBA? We should remember that it's not about what is better here. It is not in terms of which one is better, it's in terms of which one suits where you are right now in your career and what you want to do, if you want to do next. So if you're looking at, okay, I'm very early on in my career, maybe not in terms of how many years you have worked, but how many years you work in a particular organization. Imagine someone who used to be a teacher or a university lecturer but has worked for 10 years as a university lecturer and only recently just got a job working in a bank and has worked in that bank for 1 year. You will not take the cumulative experience and say that this person has banking experience for 11 years because this person has worked for 11 years. No, that person has worked for 1 year. And where is it that they want to get to in a couple of years? Maybe they want to get to branch manager, maybe they want to get to, I don't know, operational manager or something. And then they will say, okay, I need an MBA because it gives me all the basic knowledge that I need to understand now to be able to move. But if I already have 5 years working on that, I am now looking at the strategic level of management. I want to become director, I want to become CEO, I want to become, that's where I want to get. Then an executive MBA is okay for me because it will help me to get that step forward to that my career. Basically, that is it. The differences are very small. It is in terms of the entry qualification, where your research will focus, what they expect to see in your research. That is basically it. Both of them are Master of Business Administration. That executive added to one does not change the duration. It does not change really the content. It only changes the kind of research that you'll be able to produce at the end of your program, right? So if you want to move, and that's something that I think that you can discuss with the administration to move. But don't think that there is a difference in terms of levels. At the end of the day, both people have MBAs. There's no difference in the levels. I hope that answered your question.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you very much,
Professor.
Dr. Kotabe.
Thank you.
Do we have any other question? If not, we are going to round up with this session. We are going to listen to Dr. Tako talk to us about research. Dr. Tako Ronald is an accomplished academic and finance professional with over a decade of experience in higher education, research, and executive training. He currently serves as a lecturer in finance and accounting, where he teaches both the undergraduate and the postgraduate courses. His teaching approach blends strong theoretical foundation with practical real-world applications, equipping students with the analytical and strategic skills required in today's dynamic financial environment. Dr. Tako holds a Doctor of Business Administration in Strategic Management, an MBA in Finance, and multiple qualifications spanning accounting, business administration, and data-driven discipline. Beyond the classroom, Dr. Tako is the founder of Nova Site Analytics, where he provides consultancy and training in financial modeling and data analysis and AI applications for business. He has also held senior academic leadership role, contributing to digital transformation initiative and curriculum development within higher education in Cameroon. So Dr. Tako is a committed expert in developing critical thinking, problem-solving abilities, and practical financial skills for students, especially in the field of research. And that is why we all have the privilege of listening to him talking to us today about research, especially research at Phonix Business School. So, Dr. Tako, you have our undivided attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Meta, for that introduction.
Yes. Thank you very much, Madam Lucy. I just want to confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you very much. I want to start by also thanking Dr. Fotabe for that amazing presentation. I think that presentation covered everything the students are supposed to know as they are embarking on this journey. And you did a good job, Dr. Fotabe, at really explaining to them how research is done at Phonix. There are a few things I'll just add to that. But before I really get into research, I want to congratulate all those who are here. I need to congratulate you because this is the beginning of a new journey. It's a transformative chapter of your career, of your lives. And transformation is never easy. People who are weak cannot engage in anything which is transformative. People who lack courage cannot participate in anything that has to do with transformation. That's why you people deserve celebration, even though you are only at the start of a journey. Your presence here shows that you are ready to be dedicated, you're ready to be ambitious, and that you have a very strong desire to grow. I say this because the practicality of really doing an EMA's program is not a joke. It is not a joke. It's something that you have to prepare for. It's something that you have to adjust your mindset to. You have to adjust your habits to. You have to adjust your routine to. And you really need to study. You really need to study. I am saying this because this is the foundation of research. Anybody who is not ready to be disciplined, anybody who is not ready to be dedicated, cannot undertake any research initiative. And that's why I think that you all have taken a bold step. And I am thrilled to see all of you here. I am thrilled to see that you are willing to embrace this and then add it to one of the challenges that tomorrow you will say you went through in life. It's a very good thing. This journey is going to test the way you imagine things. It is going to test the way you react when there's uncertainty. It is going to test how tough you are, because the decision to join this MBA program is already a very tough decision. But you should remember that every opportunity, every challenge is an opportunity for you to learn. Every challenge is an opportunity for you to gain skills. And Dr. Lucy, when presenting me, spoke about critical thinking. I still think that you wouldn't find another program that is going to challenge your ability to think critically more than this MBA program you've just signed up for. No program is going to challenge your ability to solve problems. I know that a lot of you are thinking that in your different professional spheres, you are problem solvers, you are critical thinkers, you are good at adapting to scenarios and to situations. Just keep in mind that this MBA program will make you doubt yourself sometimes, because you're going to meet very challenging problems to solve. Very challenging problems to solve. And I think Dr. Fotabe did a lot of justice when she explained that this is an implementation MBA program. Implementation. So your research will be done in twofold. You're going to do implementation research, and then you're going to do applied business research. I cannot share slides because where I am, I don't have electricity. Enyo is doing his job. and my laptop has run out of battery. My laptop has run out of battery. So you are in a community that is going to support you through this journey. We are going to provide you all the support that you need. You can come to us at any time. But that does not mean that we are going to do the work for you, because the typical Cameroonian confuses support with doing it for you. That doesn't mean that at the slightest difficulty you face, you rush to someone to do it for you. No. Don't. That's not how the support is going to be provided. What we are going to provide is guidance. We are not going to do your research for you. So you have to read a lot of books. You have to read a lot of articles. You have to do a lot of reading. Read the course material that has been given to you. Read program instructions. Read program instruction and read it to understand. One of the basic skills you need to have on this program is to read things and understand them. And this EMAS program is going to test your ability to do that. There are students who cower in the phase of instruction. So they read clear instructions like that, and then they don't follow them. And then if they fail an exam, they start wondering exactly what happens. On the EMAS program, it is extremely important for you to be able to read very clear instructions and then follow those instructions. Instructions are going to be provided for everything you are expected to accomplish, for everything you are expected to do. Clear, action-oriented instructions are going to be provided. And the instructions are provided usually in this manner. First, an explanation of the goal that you are expected to achieve for a particular course is provided. The kind of material you are expected to read is going to be provided. How the project is supposed to be implemented is going to be discussed. So it will be explained how they want this particular project to be implemented and what kind of results you're expected to get. So your work is to follow that instruction, do your research, implement the project, and then report the results. So for every project you're going to do, you have to implement and report results. For every project you're going to do. That's why Dr. Fotabe told you that your research starts on Monday when you start the program. Your research is going to be starting on that Monday when you start the program. So like I said, there are two phases of the research. You have implementation research that you'll be doing to complete the projects that you are supposed to complete for each module. Those projects have 4 chapters each. And the second chapter of that project, you are supposed to do research, present your research findings there. You do some literature review, define things, explain what they mean, and discuss your goals. All of that will be done based on research. Then secondly, you have to conduct research that will help you to implement your project in a real enterprise. So let's take, for example, that you are doing a project on strategic management, market segmentation, and they are going to teach you, for example, demographic and psychographic segmentation, and they would expect you to implement that project in your company. So you have to go and read books, articles on how that specific project can be implemented in your organization. And when you implement that project, you're going to collect data on how you have segmented the company. And that data is going to become part of your implementation project that you're going to submit for the EMAS lecturers to grade. So nobody will do that assignment for you. If you come to us, we can provide clarification on what the requirements are. That's the kind of assistance we'll provide. What exactly is expected? Where can I go to get material? How is what is the instruction exactly saying? That's if you don't understand. But understanding the requirements and doing the assignment is a responsibility that you have to bear. So don't go and say that the school does not provide support. That's why I'm taking time now to explain the kind of support you should expect, because the work has to be done by you. The work has to be done by the students. So that's the first research. Now, the second research you do is the applied business research. Applied business research. Name speaks for itself. Applied means that the research has to be applied to a specific situation. It has to be applied to a specific business. It has to be applied to a specific problem. So there are 2 layers of application we are talking about here when we talk about applied research. 2 layers of application. The first one is that it has to be based on a real business that is existing. Where can you get a business to use for your applied research? Your company that you work for can be used. If there is a business that you are thinking of starting, start that business now and use it for the research, because every course you complete will require an implementation project. And what we advise at FUNIC Business School is that the company that you use for your implementation project should also be used for your research, your final research, which is the applied business research, so that all the data you'll be collecting as you are doing each implementation project becomes data that you will also use for your final thesis, which is going to be based on the applied business research. So remember the two layers of application here. You have to apply the research to a real problem, and you have to apply it to a real business or company. You can use a company that you are very familiar with, that you work for, or one that you are familiar with and that you know you can collect data. Or if you've been thinking of starting your own business, this is the best time to start. Because as you start this business and you use these implementation projects to complete the business, by the time you go through the MBA program, you will have everything. You will have a 5-year strategic plan, 3 to 5 year strategic plan for that business. You have a break-even strategy for the business. You will have all the financial documentation, standard operating procedures, logistics, you name it all. Everything that the MBA is going to cover, you will have all that documentation in place for the first year of that business. So it will almost be as if you have a group of consultants. Then you have us lecturers who are also going to be there during MBA and DBA weekend to critique the decisions you make, to critique the assignments before you submit them, and to provide additional guidance. That's rich data that you collect from the start of the program right through to the end. So even as we are having this conversation right now, you should start asking yourself, what business am I going to use? What organization am I going to use for my final MBA thesis? Even more important, what problem is this organization facing that I want to solve? What problem is this organization facing that I want to solve? So your project has to be based on a real organization and on a real problem. And this is what differentiates you from students who are doing MSc and other master's degree programs. This research we are doing is what differentiates you from them. This research also differentiates you from every other school that you find in Cameroon. It's only at FUNIC where applied business research is done the way it is done, where it is done the way we do it. The cost of not using the same company for your implementation projects and your final thesis is going to be extremely high, as you see when you get to the final months of your program and you have to deal with collecting data, analyzing, implementing, because you have to implement whatever solution you create for your business. If the solution is not implemented, then it is simply a recommendation. And recommendations are not accepted here. We don't do recommendations in our research here. So in the early chapters of your work, you will spend a lot of time providing us the context under which the work is taking place, the challenges that the company has been.
Okay, so I think Dr. Tako is facing some network issues and he will join us shortly. So while we're waiting for Dr. Tako to join us back, for those of you who have not completed your registration process, you can get to me immediately after this, tomorrow or Monday, to complete your registration process so that you join this April session. And for those of you who have completed your registration process, We are going to get to you on Monday with all the necessary information for you to start your studies effectively. So if you have any question, you can ask while we are waiting for him to join us. You can drop the question in the chat box. We have Dr. Nogelovis, Dr. Fotabe Omin. They are all experts in research, especially with research at Phonic Business School. So if you have questions, you can start asking while we're waiting for him to join us back. So I think Dr. Tako is back. There is a question in the chat box that how long does the business have to exist for you to use it for your research?
Now, even if the business is a day old, it's a good place to start from. You will have, if the business is just starting now, then you will have a couple of months, 8 to 9 months to start working on that business before you eventually use it to write your final thesis. And there are no specific businesses. The MBA program and the DBA program is designed to provide strategic leadership in all sectors, irrespective of the kind of business. DBAs and MBAs are capable of providing strategic leadership and management to all types of businesses. So the businesses are not supposed to be sector specific. If it's a business that is operating, it has employees, or you're running it on your own, it is okay to use for your DBA project. That's why we advise that if you've been thinking of starting a business, a startup, or anything, this is the best time to launch it, because now you literally have all the resources and the people around you who can accompany you and help you to succeed and to grow and to succeed in that business.
Dr. Tako, please not to interrupt. I just wanted to add that even for non-governmental organizations and associations.
Exactly. That's why I emphasize that it is not sector specific. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs, NPOs also require strategy. They also deal with finance. They also deal with branding. They also deal with marketing and all these other things that usual businesses do. So you just have to now tailor your research to touch on those areas and things like this. Businesses are not restricted by region. Businesses that you can use for this are not restricted by region. If you're in the US and you own a business, you can do it right with the business in the US. You can use businesses from everywhere in the world. This is an international program, and so there are no restrictions as far as regions are concerned. So before my network interrupted, I was emphasizing that it is extremely important for you to start now, to start thinking about what you want to research on now, what business you want to do, what problems you want to address. Now, during your MBA weekends, during your MBA and DBA weekends, presentations are going to be made to provide details about the different chapters that you are expected to cover and exactly what to do to be able to complete each of those chapters. So your research is going to have 5 chapters. 5 chapters. The first chapter is a general introduction. It is going to focus on defining the problem that your company is facing, providing contextual background about the industry and the company in particular. And then you're going to also provide us an idea of the kind of questions that you would like to answer in your research. What kind of questions would you be addressing in this research? You would show all of that to us. You're going to have a second chapter that will be dealing with literature. And this chapter is going to focus on helping us to understand certain key concepts you're going to be looking at. What theories, guide your work? What are the theories that guide your work? And we'll see some research there about what other people have been able to accomplish in this regard. You have a third chapter. In that chapter, you are going to show us the methodology that you're going to follow to do this work. This is a scientific process. Applied research also follows a scientific process. And one of the things that underscores the scientific process is that what you do should be reproducible. It means that you have to show us the method you're going to carry out to complete this work, so that if we doubt your results, we can replicate that method to see if it is true. If we do the same method for 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and we get the exact same results, then we can literally say that the result you got can be converted into a law. Thirdly, you have the 4th chapter where you are going to collect data, a lot of data, and analyze it. Now, this chapter is extremely paramount because without data, everything else you've done from chapter 1 to chapter 3 is just theoretical. We'll just call it wishful thinking. It is the data that will tell us that there is actually a problem. It is the data that will support any kind of solution you want to implement. It is the data that will show us in what direction any proposed strategy should be moving towards. So you are going to be making data-driven decisions through this research, and you're going to be providing data-driven solutions to whatever problems you're going to be solving. Then in chapter 5 of the work, you are going to detail for us a solution. Dr. Fotabe already mentioned this. We don't do recommendation. So you're not going to be telling us that in order for the bakery not to close its doors, it has to hire employees. That's a recommendation. You will not be telling us things like the bank needs to train its employees. That's a recommendation. Those are totally unacceptable here. What you're going to do is you're going to provide a step-by-step solution, a model, a framework, a guide that somebody can go to their company with like that and open it and use it as an instruction manual to tell employees exactly what to do, and then they will do it, implement it, and then they are going to see the results or a solution to the problem that they are trying to solve. That's how it is going to be done. Step-by-step solution. Again, as you attend your different DBA weekends, extra instruction is going to be provided to assist. Now, I'm going to make something really clear. For students who are doing MBA and DBA, the assumption is that you know how to do research and that the course is not supposed to be taught. That's why if you go through your EMA courses, you're not going to find any course on how to do research. But we know that this is a totally different way of learning from what you are familiar with. We know that. And so through the DBA weekends, we are going to provide extra directives. We are going to provide extra instructions, extra guidance. Different lecturers who specialize in different parts of research are going to provide presentations to guide you. They'll answer your questions. And after this presentation, you're going to write the chapter. So let's take, for example, that you do your first DBA weekend and a presentation is organized on how to write chapter 1. During that weekend, while you are there, you write the chapter 1, and that instructor is going to look at it and correct it before you leave. So by the time you are leaving that particular weekend, you already have the first chapter of your thesis. So that's how it is going to be done. It is done this way so that these weekends can really provide the guidance that you need so you don't face challenges during this process. But again, like I said from the beginning, this guidance does not replace the hard work that you need to put in. It doesn't replace the research that you need to do. It's not going to replace any of that. So I want to use this opportunity now to remind you that this is more than just an academic pursuit. This is more than just a study program. This is a chance to redefine your potential, because your potential changes completely by the time you go through this program. And this, I want to also use this opportunity to let you know that the world today needs leaders who are not only skilled. It needs people who are compassionate, people who are innovative, people who are driven. And your presence here means that you have the power to make an impact, both in your career, the communities you serve, and the world around you. So I want to thank you very much for being a part of this program. And I have no doubt that together we are going to achieve great things. Thank you very much, Madam Lucy, for organizing this orientation. And thank everyone. I'm very thankful and grateful to everyone who is here. If you have questions, we'll address them now before we move forward.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tako. We can ask our question, but there was one question in the chat box, that are the businesses regionally restricted?
No, I think I had spoken about that. The businesses are not regionally restricted. The EMA's Business School program is an international program. So sometimes do not be surprised to have people on board who are in Ghana, Kenya, Congo, as we've had in previous years. So you can use a business from anywhere to do the research. But we would like that it's a business that you have the possibility to implement a solution. We would reject, for your final thesis, any business for which you cannot be allowed to literally implement the solution and collect data about the implementation of that solution. But besides that, there are no regional restrictions. Businesses from around the world are all accepted into the program.
Thank you, Dr. Tako. Please, do we have any other questions concerning research, concerning the MBA program, concerning the DBA program, concerning Sonic Business School? We are gradually getting to the end of the orientation ceremony, so you can ask all your questions now.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Mr.
Yes,
Henry.
please.
Yes, for me, it's not really a question per se. I just want to say that these things we are discussing tonight, especially for the first timers who are coming to Fondy for the first time, there are transformations are going to take place if they truly go through the program and the program goes through them, especially with the implementation part. Before I joined this program, this MBA that I completed some months ago, AFATMA, African Academy of Digital Marketing, my organization, we had a lot of challenges, serious ones. Number one, we had a lot of debts, close to 20 million to 25 million. And the thing was really getting to a chaos. I was even thinking of closing that thing, like it's giving me a sleepless night. But when I started the program, especially with the strategic management, when I got into my specialization, which is marketing and sales, marketing research, sales management, internet marketing, and some other modules, even with human resource management, they have actually reshaped the way AFATMA is operating. I had to restructure everything from the type of people I hire, the job description, profile was very clear. That's something we learned in human resource management. Now, when I hire somebody, I give you a whole document with your job description, with deadlines, exactly what you have to do. And everything is detailed in that document in such a way that when you're not performing, you yourself, you know that you have not done well this month. And I had an experience where I did that with somebody, one of my staff. After the second month, the guy resigned alone. There was no problem more. I did not chase him more. But he himself, he saw that he was not doing the work as per the prescription I gave him, and he just resigned. I said, okay, fine. You see, like right now, I'm in Bamenda, is because in the module of strategic management, market segmentation, there's something I discovered and I've been building on it. When I was doing the segmentation of farmers market, I discovered that Bamenda, the Northwest region, was a very amazing segment for us. And for the past 6 months, we have been focusing on Bamenda. I'm coming here for the third time within 3 months. Why? Because of the knowledge I've gotten and I'm implementing it. Then something that was also very amazing was marketing research. The way I benchmark my competitors, I know exactly what is happening in most of my competitors' organization. The strategies the coach at EMA's taught us. I even called some pretending to be a client, and it's part of a project. You see, what Dr. Tako was talking about, the implementation part of the project, and the data I was able to collect. I'm so excited at what is happening at Fatma right now. We are reviving, the business is coming back, and most importantly, the research I did, the tool I was able to develop, the Ubuntu model that we are presently implementing at Fatma, the results you are getting from the implementation of this model are just wow. Sometimes I'm like, I want to scream, like, what? And it's because of this program that I truly understood the statement that data is gold in business. I don't joke with data now because one of the things we are doing now is that we don't take any decision. This is not driven by data. Before, we used to take decision out of imagination, out of feelings, and sometimes they were very wrong moves. So if you are here and you are running a business or you are a professional working in a company and you were really intentional about becoming more productive, becoming that strategic thinker that can move things, this is the right program for you. If you are having some that place, just get the job done. You'll be amazed at the end of the day. It's tough, as they said. The thing is very tough. I started with some people that gave up. Me, myself, I was discouraged at one point, but I have to come back more determined because I know I have an objective that I want to attain, and it has been wonderful. It has been truly, truly wonderful. And that's what I wanted to share with the participants that what Phonic is doing is really incredible and wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owona. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience and personal testimony. And I think that if we have anybody that has gone through this program, they would share similar experiences because we don't need to say the program is transformative personally and even with your businesses. I saw another question in the chat board that what happens if you fail a course, any catch up? Is it
You pay 50 euros.
if you fail a course, you will pay. But when Dr. Fotabe was doing her presentation, she made it clear that you have two opportunities to take a quiz. You should take it once. If you fail, you should reach out to us so that we would guide you in order that you will not pay the 50 euro. And that's the reason for the executive weekends where we provide students with all the needed support so that they don't fail practically. But if you fail, you pay 50 euro. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have any other question or remark? If no question, do you have any remark? Especially the students that are starting on Monday, the students who are planning to complete their registration process, do you have any remark? You can unmute your microphone and speak. Are you scared? Are you excited? Please share your remarks with us. Not, I'm going to call names. We are practically at the end. What do you feel about everything? Just share your feelings with us. Are you excited to start? Are you scared? Are you looking forward to it? Okay, maybe I should call names. Mr. Eta, please can you share your remarks? I have Mr. Eta, Mr. Joel.
Good evening to all.
Good evening.
I want to start by thanking the organizers and speakers of this particular orientation. It's been so inspiring, and I'm personally grateful. There is a lot of excitement in me and a lot of expectation concerning what I wish to get from this program. So with everything that has been said, it has just sharpened my understanding again of what the MBA is all about. And this makes me to really see it as a necessity. So I personally like challenges, and with all what has been said, one thing keeps coming up, that the program is tough. So I'm happy to face this new challenge. I'm happy to face a new challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eta. Thank you so much. So Pastor Yere said, challenge accepted. I'm excited to start this new journey. And then we have another student who said, I'm heavily inspired to undertake this academic journey. It will empower my capacity to both participate and lead changes that transform our markets. Thank you all so much for the amazing remarks. So we are practically at the end of this orientation ceremony, and I would want to sincerely thank you all for your time, your attention, your active participation, because today marks the beginning of a very important and transformative journey in both your academic and professional lives. You have been introduced to the structure of the program, the expectations ahead, and the opportunities that await you. So whether you're pursuing an MBA or a DBA, this path will challenge you. It will broaden your perspective. It will equip you with the knowledge and skills to lead and innovate in your respective fields. Remember, success in this program will require commitment, discipline, and curiosity. So we encourage you to engage fully with your coaches, to collaborate with your mates, and to make the most of every learning opportunity. We are very proud to have you as part of the Phonic Business School community, and we are confident that you excel definitely. So on behalf of the faculty and administration of Phonic Business School and the EMA's Business School, I want to wish you a rewarding and a successful journey ahead. So thank you all for being here, and I want to specially thank Dr. Fotabe Omin, Dr. Tako, Dr. Ndoge Lovis for their time, for their presentation, and for their encouragement. Thank you all so much for being here today, and I would say good night to everybody.
Good night, ma.
Thank you all so much. Have a blessed night.
Thank you.